I'm working on blocking high build primer. I use Evercoat Super Build. It's just 4-to-1 polyester primer, and I sprayed it a couple days ago and I let it sit for a couple days, and I went ahead and put a 3M dry guide coat on so that I can see what I'm doing. Got this side already blocked with 120. Right now I'm going to go ahead and do this side, and I will kind of get up close so you can see where the low spots are. I haven't done any filler or anything yet. This is just high build on top of epoxy, and I just want to see where I'm at. So let's get to it. Okay, so this side's actually in pretty good shape. You can see a couple high spots, but in general, the only spot that I see that really needs work is this right here. And then I've got a couple little spots around the edges that need just a little bit of filler. I might even be able to get away with another coat of high build, but I'd rather just use a little spot of filler and then just recoat the whole thing after that. So I'll get started on this side here. I'm using linear blocking tools, linearblockingtools.com. This is a semi-flex block, and it works really well. So off to the races. You want to be sure to wear a good dust mask. N95 is what I use, and then a good pair of gloves, especially if you're using this type of block. It wants to pinch and dig into your fingers if you don't have gloves on. So crosshatch pattern all the way across, up and down. I'm more curious now to see where the high and low spots are. You can kind of see almost like a zebra pattern. I don't know if that was my pattern on spray or not, but it definitely, you can see the lows and the high spots on this immediately. Now on this Super Build, when you initially dig into it, it wants to load up the paper. But once you get past that top skin, it sands pretty darn good. I use a little razor blade just to scrape off the boogers. Like I said, once you get past that skin, you don't have to worry about your paper loading up. Just keep working this thing until all your dark spots disappear. You want them to completely disappear, otherwise you're going to see it in your finished product. When you see it break through to epoxy, that's pretty much where you want to stop and then move on to your next spots. You don't want to break too far into the metal, because then you're already exposing your high spot and negating the purpose of the blocking. So here we are, finished up with the initial blocking of the trunk lid on this GS. These trunk lids are the same for GS's, Chevelles, and Monte Carlo's 70 to 72. So this would apply to any of those cars. I've got a couple little spots that need to be filled, but other than that, the trunk lid looks pretty good. It actually looked perfectly straight before I stripped it, but when you put a block on it, it totally kind of opens everything up. So I've got a whole bunch of work to do on the lip of this thing. It's just wavier than hell. So that's my tool now. These linear blocking tools are a game changer for me. I was using Durablock for a long time, but they just they flex too much and they sag, so they're not true. So especially if you want to get a real flat panel like this, you got to use something like the linear blocking tools. That's all I got today. Thanks for tuning in.